I'm Miranda Suess, a wedding photographer based in New Jersey and in New York City, and I wanted to share some things that I've noticed what other photographers don't do, and I think if you're a wedding photographer, you need to hop on this for upgrading your wedding photography business client experience in general. And what it is creating a wedding photography timeline for their wedding days. And I know there's a lot of people out there, a lot of wedding photographers that have businesses and have clients that do not book planners, and they're just running it all by themselves, or they're just taking on that extra job as a planner on the wedding day. And to be super organized and frank with you, you're going to need to create some kind of timeline for your couples so they have somewhat of a feeling of a organized, stress-free type of wedding, because they can tell their mom, they can tell their dad when they need to be ready for photos, when their cousins and their siblings need to be ready for photos, maybe their pet, or their wedding party in general, when they need to be hair and makeup ready because she needs to get in the dress, or he needs to put on his bow tie because the photographers are here and they can't waste anyone's time or money, and they only have one day to get this right. And so they want to enjoy it. They want to be with their family and friends. They don't want to be taking pictures the entire time or stressed out in general. So it is your job to make sure that there is lots of clarity and the communication is top tier. And I can't tell you how many of my couples appreciate having this timeline so they know when vendors are going to be around, and they're very important people who need to be there. Okay, so let's start by going through Google Docs. I'm going to show you one of my templates. I have 4 of them for sale, all 4 in a bundle for you to purchase on Etsy, but we're going to show you how to make one on the Google Doc and how it kind of needs to look like. Okay, so we're going to start with one, or we're going to only work on one. It's the first look wedding day timeline template at one location. So this template is on Google Doc. Most people like you might not have it. No, you should have a Gmail account. Most people have Gmail accounts. So you should be able to have a Google Drive to access to. You can also do this on Word Doc, but in this video example, I'm going to show you with the Google Doc example. It's just easier, and your clients can access it and make comments to it and download it on their own too. Okay, anyway, so when you download my template on Etsy, you can access this on your computer. And just for example's sake, this right here is a picture of the couple. You're going to want to add this to your template of your wedding photography timeline. And when you download my template, all you have to do is right click here and replace the image with anything that shows it that your choices are here. From your computer, you might have a photo of the couple. You can screenshot a photo from their Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media account, and just put it in place of this photo. And I have a little disclaimer here. You can remove it and put your own disclaimer, whatever you want. And this is just telling my couples, hey, you need to hire a day of coordinator, because if you need somebody to take care of this timeline and make sure everyone is in communication, especially the vendors, and have a more stress-free day, basically, then you need to hire a planner or day of coordinator. So you can remove that if you wish. As you can see on the front page is pretty what you need to input here. Like, you want to put the date, you want to put the couple's full names, you're going to want to put the address and the room name, specifically where they're getting ready. If you know the room numbers, that's even better, but sometimes they don't know until the day of. And then you get the ceremony, cocktail, or reception, because a lot of venues do have multiple rooms, so you just want to make sure you're going to the right room. Okay, so then you have the time frame, which you are contracted for. Maybe it's 8.5 hours, so you'll put that there from like 2 to 10:30, and then you want to put the sunset time. You can look that up easily on Google search. When is sunset in New York City on May 2nd, 2030? And hopefully this video is still relevant. And then you would put that in there, and the golden hour time frame is about an hour to a half hour before sunset time. So you put that in there so you can bring the couple out and do those quick golden hour portraits, because everybody loves that dreamy golden look to their photos. Who doesn't? I don't know. Send them to me because we need to talk. All right. Obviously, you want to put some contact information. So if they have the wedding coordinator hired, because that disclaimer convinced them, you'll want to put that in there. You're going to put your own contact information, the assistant's, the parents' contact information, the maid of honor and best man. I do not have the bride and groom on here because they should not be contacted on the wedding day. You can contact someone else on the wedding day. Okay, and then if you want, you can put guest count. It's up to you. Their website. Put that on there because then you can take a sneak peek at their wedding party members. Maybe they have their love story on there just so you can get a little reminder of how they met and things like that and what they like on there. Okay, so when creating a wedding photography timeline, you want to brand it to your fonts. You want to brand it to with your logo. So if you double click the footer, you can just remove my logo and replace it with your logo here. PNG files work the best because it's transparent background, or just do a white one because most printer papers are white. So you just want to match the printer paper. Don't use too much ink, color and things like that. And you can remove this little memo here. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down to where the ceremony is because that's actually where you want to start when it comes to a wedding photography timeline. You want to start when the ceremony is starting. Say it's a 5 o'clock ceremony, and then you will work your way backwards on your timeline. I put my schedule on here because this is what I think I need to, for most wedding days, to give them the expectations that they have based on a really good experience for a wedding day, because I do need this time to provide the best experience, and also giving them a little wiggle room if somebody has a hiccup. But you can customize it the way you want. You could put however you want. An hour for VIP photos, fine. You want an hour for wedding party photos, fine. You can change that. But on here, this is what I do for most of my wedding days. So you can use my timeline. You can fix it however you want. And so you can play around with this template, do whatever you want, but you want to work from the ceremony start time and work your way backwards, so that can tell you how soon you need to be there on the wedding day and how late, based on how many hours they booked, how late you're going to stay. Sometimes you can add on when you get closer to the wedding day to be like, hey, if you want me to stick around till sparkler exit or whatever it is, you're going to need to add on 2 extra hours because you only booked me for 10 hours, whatever it is. Okay, so I also recommend that you send a questionnaire. That's a whole other video I can create later, but you need to send a questionnaire to your couples within 60-90 days before their wedding, so you can create this timeline based on what their answers were in this questionnaire. And then they need a month about to just review the timeline you had created for them and make comments if they need to. And how to do that, you just simply go to the share option in the upper top right hand corner of your Google Doc, and you just, this isn't actually how it looked before, but I changed it. So you would just want to tap this, because before it said restricted. So you want to just tap this and say anyone with the link and turn it to comment or access. Enter their email in here, right? And then click done so they can get an email directly to them being like, hey, open this file. This photography company sent you this timeline to open, so they can open it. And then all they have to do is highlight an area. Like if they need to input names here, all they have to do is drop a comment. And then you get a notification in your email that, hey, so-and-so left some comments on your document. And then you can approve the comments that they made, so it makes the edits in your document. And if you want to undo something, you totally can too. Just easy undo. Okay, so I think that basically covers everything. Just note that in my Etsy shop, you're going to get a 4-bundle timeline template for Google Docs or Word doc you can download. Now, those 4 different timelines you're going to be able to download is for first look and traditional timelines, whether they want to see each other before the ceremony or after the ceremony. And there's also the 2 others are based on location, how many locations there are. So 1 location or 2 locations. So these are great templates for you to play around with your branding, the colors, if you want it with your text, the fonts. You can put little messages in here, but this is a really good base to have to share with your clients. And if you don't do this for your clients right now, you need to change what you're doing and upgrade their experience, because this is something that my couples really praise about and really appreciate when I create this for them, because they don't know what they're doing on the wedding day. They need to know when things are happening. So this timeline really makes them feel a little bit more organized too. So do this if you don't do it already. If you don't have the time to create a timeline, just download the ones I have in my Etsy shop and we'll be good. You'll be good. And leave a comment below if you feel like, I don't need to do timelines. I always have a planner on my wedding day. Well, I'm really jealous if you do. Okay. Leave a comment below if you found this video super helpful. And if you have any questions, I'm here for you. I want you to win out there. I want you to succeed. I want you to be the best wedding photographer. I want to be able to see you on the YouTube premium, I don't know, Netflix one day. Because you're one of the best photographers ever. I don't know, but I just want you to succeed out there. Okay, guys. Well, have a great day, and if I can help you with anything else, let me know. Mwah!